Hello and welcome to Wisdom and Productivity, the podcast of Dr. Efraim Martinez. I am a principal in search of wisdom, and I have found productivity to be a great tool for success. Today's title is What is More Likely or Why Hope is Not a Tool for Success. Okay, so today is Saturday, October 29th. What a great pleasure to be here with you. I was this morning watching the Manchester Lancaster game. I saw the Bruins' beautiful, gorgeous goal. So I was very excited about that. Now I'm making a pause to talk about this idea that comes out of thoughts about hope. I know that for many, hope is a strategy, and that is okay, right? We are here reporting, not criticizing, right? It's just providing an opinion. I hope that nobody is offended because the idea is not to poke the bear. The idea is to inquire about how we can do things better. And certainly, there are many things in the world that can be better. So, children can have a brighter future, so we can have a better society. And absolutely, the way that we are going is something that we need to reflect upon and we need to improve. Talking about doing things better, let's praise the Teach Better community. Thank you for your support.
This podcast is a proud member of the Teach Better Podcast Network. Better today, better tomorrow, and the podcast to get you there. Explore more podcasts at www.teachbetterpodcastnetwork.com. Now let's get back to the episode.
Okay, so on a public debate between intellectuals about the resurrection of Jesus Christ, Frank Turek states that whatever Jesus taught was true because he rose from the dead. Therefore, he was God. Torg adds that that is the argument and that he didn't have time to support it. Right? So I'm not criticizing, I am reporting. Okay. The point is this: to counter his argument, Christopher Hitchens said, if you meet someone in the street who you yesterday saw executed, you can say either one of these things. One, that an extraordinary miracle has occurred, or two, that you are under a very grave misapprehension. To this, David Hitchens paraphrased David Hume's and have the following logic to argue that the people who saw Jesus die on the cross were in distress. The quote is, what is more likely, that the laws of nature has been suspended in your favor and in a way that you approve, or that you have made a mistake? Okay, so I'm going to make a pause about those arguments. I'm not debating pro or con, whoever you want to believe, good for you. I'm picking this argument about how often in life, in education, our artistic endeavors, we take the route of hope and faith. And that is a problem that I believe I can counteract in the terms of what do we believe is that we need to do to find success. So every day, if you are a teacher, educator, administrator working in any school, you see students that come with all sorts of problems, and often they don't have the tools to solve them. Remember, trauma lives in both wealth and poverty. So you have to ensure that you are providing students strategies and tools rather than hope. Because when you sell hope for a child, then the child believes, well, if I get good grades and I go to school and I pay attention and I participate in sports, everything is going to work out. And the reality is that when students are going to school, students are specifically encountering debates and issues and conflicts that they have to actively solve, and they serve as a simulator for what real life is. Remember, there's no supermarket for differentiation, for modifications. The supermarket is for everyone. So it's important that we teach students that faith and hope in terms of how the quality of life that they want to have is not a tool for success. So, for example, we know that if we want to have a good class, we plan before the class, taking in consideration the students and all that they need, their scores, their ability, both the type of learners. We have all these things in plan. We use data to determine how we're going to do the grouping. We have a database of questions that we want to ask, both low level and high level. We have our assessments ready. We prepare all this scenario, right? Like a writer writing a story for a successful class, right? We just don't go to a classroom and say, I hope that everything is going well. It's not that hope is bad. Hope is good when you say, I have done a plan. I hope it goes well, because you know as an educator that that day might be the crappiest day in your instruction because something happened that you suddenly have to solve in the classroom. The same thing happens with life. In life, if you want to be a good friend, you need to do things to be a good friend. If you want to be a good spouse, a good sibling, a good everything, you need to ensure that you put the work and the effort to get to that hill. And when you get to the top of that hill, you know that beyond faith and hope, there will be another hill to climb, and therefore strategizing, anticipating, and planning can be conducive to a better world. Thank you so much for listening. This is Wisdom and Productivity. It is an honor to have you here. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you for listening to Wisdom and Productivity, the podcast of Dr. Eparim Martinez.
Chulu.
And I love that production. Chill out.